Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Crimson Jockey, back at it again with another video, as is the usual. So today, this morning, was the Pokemon Presents. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll know that I didn't really like it all that much, and so here's my video talking about it, right? So, this was 25 minutes long. That's about as long as how they told us it was going to be. We got a handful of stuff here. We got something cool for the TCG. We got Scarlet and Violet DLC updates. We got, of course, mobile game updates. We got something cool for Pokemon animation. That's not the anime. And a couple other things. We're going to talk about it as we go through here. I want to preface this by saying that I didn't have any large expectations going into this, right? I knew we were getting Scarlet and Violet DLC. I knew we were, right? I was going to be shocked if we didn't. That's not necessarily like an expectation in the sense of like, I'm hoping we get this. I just knew. And if we didn't get Scarlet and Violet DLC, I would have been like, okay, they're not ready for DLC yet. That's fine. The game is fine as is. We don't need Scarlet and Violet DLC right now. But it was inevitable. We were getting Scarlet and Violet DLC. Okay? So, I wasn't expecting a new Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I wasn't expecting Pokemon Legends Johto or Celebi or Pokemon Let's Go Johto. I wasn't expecting Black and White remakes. I wasn't expecting anything like big between like Scarlet and Violet and X and Y, because there's a bunch of like lore stuff that people are speculating about how X and Y plays into the story of Scarlet and Violet. I wasn't expecting any kind of huge lore dump like that in some kind of like third side project game or DLC for Scarlet and Violet, or I wasn't expecting Pokemon Z or anything like that. I was expecting something unique, something creative, something innovative, something along the lines of just being left field. Similar to, hey, it's been 15 years, Pokemon Snap sequel. Hey, it's been 15 years, here's a new Pokemon Coliseum-esque game. Hey, it's been 8 years, here's a Pokken sequel too. Hey, not all of these things. Let me clarify. I'm not saying all of these things. Just individual, like, left field stuff. Okay. Hey, here's Pokemon Detective Pikachu 2, right? Or here's a trailer for the second movie. Something, right? Just something left field. Something that we haven't gotten in Pokemon Presents for the past 2 years. That was my expectation. That was my hope, is to get something new and innovative. I did not get that. I didn't get that. So we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about what we did get. Now that I've kind of like shared with you all what my expectations were, right? And another thing is like, I'm fine. Whatever. I'm fine if we did get something creative and innovative and whatever, right? And it turned out bad, that's fine. At least you did something new. I'm always one of those people who's like, let's do something we haven't done before. Okay? Unless it's like, if we're talking about like the safety of something, or like or whatever, life and death, then stick to what's safe, right? But, you know, for something in which the purpose is to be creative and innovative and to make a product, to sell a product, to whatever, go wild with it. Go crazy, right? And this wasn't any means to be celebratory, right? This was just more run of the mill. So let's go at this step by step. So, is this Junichi Masuda? No, this is who is this? Ishihara. Okay. Is Masuda? Yeah, okay. No, I know who Masuda is. All right. So he introduces us here with his little animatronic Pikachu toy. So when I saw the animatronic Pikachu, I did think, oh, Detective Pikachu. Because it looks like the model from Detective Pikachu. Or we were getting another live-action Pokemon movie, maybe not related to Detective Pikachu, but another something Pikachu, because this is clearly, I mean, like, look Look at this thing. It's animatronic made to look real. It's got the fur, it's got the blinking eyes, it's got the realistic eyes, not this little, like, anime thing. Anyways, I thought we were getting Detective Pikachu. I've never played Detective Pikachu or seen the movie. I'm not a Detective Pikachu fan who's been waiting for a sequel. I just thought that was a natural conclusion. But anyways, we get news from Chris Brown, not the singer. I thought it was going to be the singer, but not the singer. We get news from Chris Brown that the next Pokemon regional tournament is going to be in Japan, which is cool. So this was cool, getting to see all this, and that's about it. Here's the art for it, right? So that's it. So 3 minutes in, and we got news about a tournament that's happening later this year. That's okay. Right. So here's a video about the trading card game. This is a new product. It's basically just reprints of some of the original Pokemon trading cards. It's a new board, looks very stylish, minimalistic, classic, looks very sleek. I like it a lot. I'm actually currently trying to get into the card game. I've been doing some stuff with Yu-Gi-Oh! First, and then I've been planning on moving to Pokemon. So this looks good. This looks like something that I could spend money towards as a TCG beginner and feel comfortable. So this is really cool if you're into the TCG. Yeah, just looks cool. So there's that, right? So here is a Netflix show that is about an island resort for Pokemon. Pokemon come to this hotel and they stay here for a while, and whatever. It's completely animated in stop motion, which is really cool and really impressive, because stop motion is one of those forms of media that's kind of been dying. Not like dying in a bad way, it's just as CGI has been improving and improving and improving, less and less people and less studios are wanting to take the money, time, and effort to put into stop motion, which is a shame, because stop motion is really unique, it's really cool, and it takes a lot of dedication and hard work. Not that CGI stuff doesn't, but you know, it's just, it's an art that's becoming less and less practiced. So, but this looks really good. But this is all it is. It's a teaser trailer for a Netflix show about a girl who takes care of Pokemon at an island resort. So it's like, okay, not really for me, but cool. Okay. So here we go. We are 7.5 minutes in, and we're starting games. Okay. We have 18 minutes left. Okay. So here we go over here. And the first thing is Pokemon Unite. We're getting a Unite update, and it's Zacian. It's the sword legendary from Sword and Shield. Which is like, okay, whatever. You teased him a couple weeks ago. We knew he was coming. Okay, cool. That's cool. It's a new update for a pre-existing mobile game that's a couple years old. That's all right. Okay, moving on is Cafe Remix, which is an update to a mobile game that's a couple years old. So this one obviously is Paldea focused. It's got Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and Quaxley. The dish obviously is Wiglet, Lechonk, and the Doc Bun. It's the bread one? I forget its name. It's clever though. Fido. They show up. That's cool. And then Greninja shows up, because of course he does. And then they're bringing back some of the old chefs. I guess these were like hard to get at one point, you know, kind of similar to like the Terror Raids. They're exclusive, but they're bringing back some of the old chefs. And that's it. So an update to a mobile game that's a couple years old. And then we here have this montage of Pokemon Champions, which is obviously about Masters, because it's their Masters model. These do look very high def for Masters, though. So, but it's about Masters. And then we get some stuff about Galar's new champions, or Neo champions. So we get Hop, who has Galarian Zapdos. We have Bede, who has Galarian Articuno. And then we have Marnie, who has Galarian Moltres, which is really cool, right? Because for Bede, he uses Psychic types, he gets the Psychic Bird. Marnie uses the Dark types, she gets the Dark type Bird. Hop doesn't really have a type preference, but Electric from Zapdos beats Charizard. Makes sense. This is really cool. I really like this. Moving on. It's an update to a mobile game that's a couple years old. You see the running theme here? Celebrating 3.5 years. I'm so great for you, okay? So we went from 7 minutes to 12 minutes. 5 minutes, 6 minutes roughly on mobile games. Here, we finally have the showcase for Pokemon Sleep. This game was first announced 2 or 3 years ago, I think, and we weren't really ever told what it was. Some people assumed that it was going to like connect to Pokemon Home, and you could transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Home to Pokemon Sleep, and your Pokemon would, I don't know, gain EVs, gain some attacks, or I don't know really what people were expecting, but that was the gist, right? Is you connect your Pokemon from Pokemon Home to Pokemon Sleep, and they do stuff. That doesn't seem to be what this is. This really just seems to be a sleeping app with a Pokemon coat of paint. Not inherently a bad thing, but as a Pokemon fan, I'm probably going to want to know how this relates to all of your other mobile games, right? Like Pokemon Masters, I can have like my own unique, cute little avatar, right? And I can team up with characters from the anime or from the games, and that's cool, right? Pokemon Cafe Remix is cute. Frankly, I don't see the appeal. I don't know why other people play it, but it's there. Pokemon Go is an absolute titan of a game that came out in 2016, just never really lost popularity, even through quarantine, which is really, really a big deal. It's just a beast, okay? So, Pokemon Sleep doesn't seem to do anything. It seems to just monitor your sleep schedule, and for some people that's a big deal, like they have sleep problems, or they're just curious about what they do when they're not awake. So they do sleep apps, or whatever, right? Doing that for Pokemon is cute. It doesn't make sense, but it's cute. It's like, okay, make me care about this. As a customer, as a consumer, as a fan, make me care about this. How are you going to do that? You're going to put Pokemon on it. Okay, cool. What do the Pokemon do? Well, depending on how you sleep, depends on how Pokemon spawn. Okay. What do I do when they spawn? Do I just look at them? When I wake up, I'm like, oh, there's a Charmander here. Okay. You know, like, what's the gist here, right? So, yeah, there doesn't seem to be anything here. For whatever reason, though, your sleep data will eventually be compatible to Pokemon Go. Why? Could not tell you. He just says more information on that to come later. Okay. So, what about my Pokemon? If I'm able to befriend Pokemon in Pokemon Sleep, what do I do with them when they get to Pokemon Go? Nothing. Or we don't know yet. Okay. Is there any compatibility with Pokemon Home? Not directly, but Pokemon Sleep connects to Pokemon Go, and Pokemon Go connects to Pokemon Home. That doesn't mean that whatever you do in Sleep will eventually make its way to Home. It just doesn't necessarily mean that. So it's really weird. But aside from that, anyways, yeah, so we just don't really know what the connection between Pokemon Sleep to Pokemon Go to Pokemon Home is, or even if there is a feasible connection like that. It's just weird. So it's just like, okay, this is a sleep app that has Pokemon. That's it. It's not an accessory app that, like, it's not like a Poketch, right? Where you can do stuff with it that enhances your gameplay outside of gameplay. It's not that.
which I was really hoping it would be. I guess I lied earlier when I said that I had an expectation. I guess that this is my expectation. Is I wanted Pokemon Sleep to be some kind of like accessory to my gameplay. And that's just wrong. But I didn't expect Sleep to be here. So so it wasn't really an expectation. I'm excused from that. So Pokemon Sleep, all right. So then we have Scarlet and Violet DLC. So now let's spend the next bulk of time talking about these little boys here. So this is what these Pokemon look like according to Scarlet and Violet. This is the artwork that's in some of the books that you can find in the post game. And Scarlet, you find this one on the left here, which seems to have elements of the 3 legendary beasts from Gold, Silver, and Crystal. And on the right, this Pokemon here seems to have elements of the 3 Sacred Swords or whatever from the Black and White franchise. Okay, so there's elements to all of them in these here, right? So for this one on the left, this has Suicune's helm. It's got Entei's body shape with the huge mane kind of deal. It's got Suicune's ribbons. It's got Raikou like little stripes on its legs and whatever. It looks like Raikou's feet as well, right? This looks very much like a blend between all of them. And with this face right here, it looks very like primordial looking. Looks like it's ready to eat your head off, right? Looks like a beast, okay? And this one on the right has a lot of elements from all 3 of the legendary beasts. It's got Virizions longer neck. It's got Terrakian's like spiked helm here. It's got Cabalion's body shape or like stoutness figure kind of deal. It's got Terrakion's legs. There's bits of it that look like metallic, which makes sense because this is a Pokemon in Violet, and Violet is a game about the future. All of their other Paradox Pokemon look very metallic and whatever. But this is what they actually look like. And I gotta say, I'm disappointed on a number of levels. Let's start with Virizion. Okay, so much here about Virizion is just gone. Everything that made this design unique and interesting is just gone. This just looks like future Virizion. And the future forms are already lacking. A lot of people have kind of noted that Violet's Paradox forms are very poor. The best one is obviously Iron Valiant, because it's a mix between Gardevoir and Gallade, or at least from their Mega forms. Looks very cool. There you can tell where the inspiration is from. All of the other ones just seem to be either recolors or just metal versions of pre-existing Pokemon. Delibird, Hariyama, Tyranitar, Hydreigon, and so on, right? So, Iron Treads, is that the Donphan one? Like, that one's probably the biggest offender. Yeah. So this doesn't help. This doesn't help. This was very promising. This was very innovative, very creative, very unique. And this is not. This is not. It's Grass Psychic type. Iron Leaves, it's its name. I've talked with a couple people, and they've kind of given me their own theories. The first theory is that in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, when you interact with the lore at the end of the game, what you are told, this is according to these people, I don't remember being told this in Scarlet, but is that the Paradox Pokemon are called that because you don't really know where on the timeline they're from. Could be the past, but it could also be just different timelines. That's why they're Paradox forms, right? So there's been a debate within like Pokemon Theorist YouTube on how Paradox Amoonguss is Amoonguss, right? Because the whole reason Amoonguss has the Pokeball design and shape on its body is to ward off predators. That's the whole reason. It's just like, oh, look, I'm a Pokeball, I'm going to catch you, when in reality it's a fungus that is probably going to be eaten by some kind of bigger, badder Pokemon, right? So, but the Paradox Pokemon exist millennia before human civilization, before Pokeballs of any kind, right? Not even just Legends Arceus Pokeballs, Pokeballs of any kind, right? Excuse me. So, how can Paradox Among Us have Pokeball designs. Well, hence the term Paradox form. So it doesn't make any sense. There's nowhere on the timeline it fits, and that's the purpose. That's why it's a paradox. Makes sense. That's fine. Okay. I forgot what my point in all that was, to be completely honest with you. Oh, yeah, reasons for why these are different. So that's one reason, right, is just because, like, lore-wise, this is wrong anyways. Or this is wrong. I've seen some people also say, well, you know how we reconstruct dinosaurs and we just kind of put bones together and try and figure out what works? Well, a lot of the times we are wrong. And a lot of the times we draw illustrations of what we think they look like, and a lot of the times those are also wrong. That's what's happening here. Fair point, except due to the fact that all of the other illustrations like this in Scarlet and Violet are more or less accurate. And it could have just been, oh, well, they didn't get, the artist didn't get a good look at these. Well, not the artist that actually drew these in, like, human reality, but the person in the game's lore that drew these creatures could have just been mistaken. That's fair. But a lot of these distinctions just don't make sense. Like, this. Like, this is a raptor. How do you get this? There's so much different here, right? So, from both. It's really weird. The third theory that I've heard is that they're going to do this for all three of the Pokemon of the respective trios, which means Raikou going to get a form, Entei's going to get a form, Terrakian's going to get a form, Cobalion's going to get a form, and they're all going to do this Pokemon fusion thing. Kind of similar to Reshiram, Zekrom, and Kyurem. Okay? So, would be cool, except the whole fusion concept they really steered away from. Like, they were like, yeah, that's a problem lore-wise. It only works for Kyurem. We're not going to deal with the implications of that. And then they sort of did it with Calyrex, but that's not really a fusion. It's just he's literally riding a Pokemon, right? So, I don't know. They might do a fusion thing where they actually use these designs, but as far as this goes, this doesn't seem to be it. This seems to be very misleading, and just not cool. I feel, as a consumer, I feel baited. I feel like I got my hopes up and turned down, right? Now, on the other hand, Walking Wake looks awesome. Scarlet is still winning. Scarlet is the better game. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. The types are really cool. I mean, Grass and Psychic is okay, but Water Dragon is busted. And with its main move, I think it deals like 80 base damage, but then in the sun, it gets stronger with Stab. That's like, what, 160, 180 base power? Or not base power, but like with regular modifiers, not even including Terra. That's insane. So that's cool. So, and then they were like, okay, you know that Vivillon Pokemon? Yeah, so all of its forms have been in the game's data. We're doing this postcard thing with Pokemon Go where you can do that. That is cute. I like that. Should have been in the initial thing, but that's cute. You can now get roaming Gimmighoul in Scarlet and Violet, because normally before you couldn't ever get them, you would just interact with them, but now you can get roaming Gimmighoul. So that's cool, that's fine. But and then we'll get Pokemon Go or Pokemon Home update later this year. So here we have DLC. So first of all, this DLC was weird because the scenes like this, this looks very Jetonian. Okay, like this whole shrine thing looks very Jetonian. Like, this shrine in the forest, like, obviously here it's on a shrine, it's a post, but it looks very Jetonian. And it's its own thing, which is fine, but I also feel like, okay, this looks a lot like... It looks like what you're trying to do is Legends Johto, or Legends Celebi or something. And then we get this. I'm still looking forward to this. This does look unique and cool. But then we don't get any gameplay. It's just, here's the DLC, which again, as I said earlier, was a given. So I already knew it was happening. I didn't need a teaser as much as I needed an actual trailer, in my opinion, anyways. And then here's the second DLC. It's more like tournament arc based. That's cool. So here we have this Pokemon. This is an ogre. I forget its name. And then this one is Terapagos. That's really cool because it's a play on Terra, but then also Galapagos, which I believe is where Charles Darwin found his species of the birds and the turtles, where he was like, see, microevolution. This seems to be playing off of that, which is really, really cool. I'm really curious about their types. So, like, this one seems to probably be, like, grass and fighting or grass and dark or something, or maybe just dark and not grass at all. And then this one seems to probably be ice and water, ice and rock, maybe dragon, because it looks reptilious a little bit. Maybe steel, because it's got, like, you know, crystal can kind of be steel, I guess. Crystals are a type of rock, so I don't know. But yeah, this seems to be the thing from the other picture thingy. It looks a lot different, but that one was already, like, so, like, out there anyways. Yeah. So these look fine. You can go to the website and get more of, like, an indication of what's going on here. The first one seems to be based on a Japanese myth where I forget the gists, but it's like you either befriend or you find or you defeat. I forget what the action is, but you interact with these three animals: with a dog, with a monkey, and with I think it's a pheasant, right? And you do that, and you make your way to an ogre. Is the gist of the myth? That's an oversimplification. I don't know anything else about the myth. That's all I know. So this seems to be playing off of that, which is really cool. So we have Okidogi, we have Monkey Dory, and we have Fezan Depity. So yeah, these look cool. These probably all share some kind of type. Probably either dark or psychic. So if I had to guess, like psychic and fighting, psychic dark, psychic flying, or dark fighting, dark psychic, and dark flying. This one could probably be normal as well, but I'm assuming it's dark and psychic. But it could also be normal dark, or maybe even ghost, or maybe they're all ghost, right? It could also be ghost fighting, ghost psychic, or ghost dark, and ghost flying, maybe. I don't know. That would be my guess. But whatever it is, it's probably a type weak to whatever the mascot was to this guy. So if this guy is dark, these guys are probably psychic or ghost, right? If I had to guess. So, and then we get Terapagos, which is such a cool name. That's I'm really happy about that. So, and then they come later this year. So again, I would have liked to have seen actual gameplay, but that's more or less fine. So, and that's it. And then we get returning Pokemon. The website tells it's going to be roughly about 230. Over 230. So, probably like 232 or something. So, oh yeah, Ogerpon. That's its name. So, but that's it. That was the Pokemon Presents. So, again in recap, we spent, 11 minutes in mobile game? And Pokemon Sleep still isn't very clear on what it's doing, aside from just tracking your sleep. That's it. Pokemon DLC is fine. Like Scarlet and Violet, that's fine. I don't think we needed all this gist about the mobile games. Pokemon animation is cool. And the TCG is cool. I think I mentioned this already, but I may not have. I've recorded this twice. But we got nothing about the Pokemon anime here. Nothing. The Pokemon community is going through a lot at the moment, between the Pokemon anime, enjoying Scarlet and Violet, and I guess other stuff, right? But like those are the main two, is Scarlet and Violet, people are doing Terra raids, and people are still playing through Scarlet and Violet, and the anime. The anime is going through a very big transition phase. in the sense that they're getting rid of Ash, which is a big thing. That was like when Yu-Gi-Oh was getting rid of Yugi, when Naruto got rid of Naruto, when Goku started having kids or whatever, although he's always still been the main character. Ash leaving is a big deal. It's a very big deal. Almost every Pokemon fan, or actually every Pokemon fan, has interacted with Ash in some way. When you were a kid in the early 2000s or late 90s and you were into Pokemon, you knew the Pokemon anime. And as a result of that, you either collected cards or you also played the games. Or you did both, right? But the common thread there is the Pokemon anime. The anime is a big deal. Probably the second most important thing at the Pokemon Company is the anime. If I had to say that, that's what I would say. The first is the games, and then the second is the anime, and the third is probably merchandising, which would include the trading cards. Okay? If that would be my general thought, right? Not a single word about the anime at all, which I sort of get if they're trying not to overshadow this, but this already has so little going on. There's not really anything here to overshadow, right? So, I'm really confused on how there wasn't anything Pokemon anime related at all. Not a mention of Ash or anything. So, I don't know. I guess that was another expectation that I had, was how they're going to address the anime. Because we have a new, not just a new season, a new milestone, a new generation of Pokemon anime that has been going on for 25 years. It's ending, it's coming to an end, and something new is happening. And nothing. No word about it, no acknowledgement of it, whatever. So, it's just weird, because I'm a little confused as to, like, maybe what the target audience is. Because this is... Your general 13-year-old may not be watching this, especially on 9 a.m. on a Monday. Right? They got school. So this is mostly meant for investors and for longtime fans that have internet access and are adults and can do whatever we want. Right? So this is cool stuff, but a lot of this is stuff that we've seen for the past 2 years in other Pokemon Presents. Especially Cafe Remix, especially Masters, especially Unite. Right? Like, I just wanted something innovative, something new, something creative. And probably something related to the Pokemon anime. Just because that's a big deal, and I don't feel like they're acknowledging that it is, I guess. But maybe I'm in the wrong. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Kind of a mid, very mid, Pokemon Presents. Scale out of 1 to 5, I'd give it like a 3. Maybe in a 3.5 or a 4 if I just felt like it. But, yeah, so... Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, or interact with me on Twitter. Would love to talk about it. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What was your favorite part? What was your least favorite part? All that jazz. So anyways, guys, this is Jake logging out. Peace.